Meaning what exactly? Let me remind you that we're dealing with a dispersed entity whose technological prowess is still unknown. And it has so far destabilized every machine sent its way. Even the most specialized ones.
That's why I'll keep it simple this time. No electro brains, no memory, only pure energy.
You still haven't answered me, Hitra. Please, just tell me straight. What are you up to?
I'm arming the charges.
Arming what? Explosives, cluster munitions?
Hydrogen.
What?
Bomba nuclear.
Are you serious?
Damn right. I won't leave all this unresolved.
How many warheads do you have?
54. From 30 kilos to 100 megatons.
Oh, that's quite an arsenal. Over the top, I'd say.
We really do have enough power.
That's an understatement, Doctor. An amount of energy could rip the planet to pieces.
I'm not an idiot. I won't send everything at once. I'm preparing 8 smaller warheads to start with.
And then?
We'll see.
Are you sure this is a good idea, Viejardo?
Listen, Yasna, I know how it must look to you. A hot-headed guy from the Alliance who wants to use nukes. But put yourself in my shoes. I have 24 hours tops of complete situational awareness. I'm taking action here and now based on my best judgment. I don't know what will happen later. Where will I wake up? In what condition? So I'm going to avenge my people before that happens and ensure the safety of those who survived.
Empieza a tirarla porque están viniendo para acá.
Deserve better than this. I know you understand. You're like me. You would do anything for your crew.
I understand, yes. Although it's hard to talk about revenge here. We are dealing with creations of necro-evolution. Dead evolution. Probably non-sentient ones. Taking revenge on the cloud is like...
Whipping the ocean for sinking a ship?
Claro.
Exactly. Like Xerxes. That's why I would consider this problem in the category of neutralization. Not vengeance. After all, nothing guarantees the flies will stay on Regis 3 if they continue to evolve.
Wait a minute, Doctor. Even if they were to master space navigation, wouldn't it take hundreds of thousands of years?
Millions of years, even, considering the evolutionary timeline. However, they could threaten humanity much sooner by sheer chance.
Not a chance I'm willing to take.
Let's not overreact. If we factor in sheer chance, we might as well get killed by a meteor.
No, Novik. It's not a meteor or an ocean or a storm. They don't hunt or degrade or cripple you mentally.
You, Hitra, are still reasoning as though we were standing face to face with a thinking opponent. What if these beings are not our enemy at all?
Oh, good one. Are you forgetting how many of us they've already killed?
I will never forget, Hitra. Still, I can't help feeling that they operate without any strategic plan. They attack from one incident to another. They're non-sentient, as the doctor put it.
So what, they're stupid? And that's why they can't be hostile? It's absolute nonsense.
Well, it could be. Yes, sir. What do you think?
They're not stupid or hostile, but rather programmed to react. To radio waves, to brain waves.
How?
They're breaking down communications to thwart the exchange of information.
So... they see no difference between a man and a machine? They take our brains for transmitters. That's why they're attacking us?
Exactly.
Wait, what species are you talking about?
Dr. Yasna found various traces of conflict, lasting for hundreds of thousands of generations.
I'm mainly referring to other machines that evolved simultaneously on Regis 3. For instance, those structures we called the city, or the robots you uncovered at the excavation site. Who knows what kind of technology they had?
Uh-huh. And you're saying they were fighting each other?
Or competing is a better word. But yes.
I don't buy it. It's like some robot fables.
No, Rachel, these are no fables. We have gathered evidence for all this.
How did these machines even get here? Who built them?
Probably some alien race, highly evolved. It all adds up if we assume they crashed on Regis 3. But not even a single living organism survived the accident. Only machines were left.
And then what? They started bashing in each other's tin heads? Doesn't make much sense to me. Machines don't have emotions. They don't argue.
First things first. Millions of years ago, some highly advanced race sent machines to Regis 3. And these were specialized homeostatic mechanisms, left with no one to command them. As an engineer, you know well how it is. A robot does what it needs to do, whether it serves someone or not. At first, they probably just repaired themselves, or built a home for their dead masters.
Until something forced them to change.
Exactly. Certain types of predator eat anything that moves. So I'm betting they were attacked by local fauna. The key was that these machines had the ability to produce others as needed. To combat, say, flying reptiles, they started producing flying machines.
That still doesn't explain why they started fighting among themselves. Since they already defeated the living organisms, why keep producing themselves? It makes no sense.
What's a guiding principle of a homeostat?
I don't...
That was a rhetorical question. It's all about survival in changing conditions, even the harshest ones. Further forms of necroevolution were no longer threatened by the local fauna, but they had to find sources of energy and materials from which they could produce replacement parts and offspring. Originally, their descendants were undoubtedly powered by radiant radiation. But on Regis, there are no radioactive elements at all.
Ah, sounds familiar. When the energy runs out, you have to wheel and deal.
Yes, the default source wasn't available anywhere. So they had to look for an alternative. There was a severe energy crisis and a conflict among the machines. Simply put, they fought to survive. Exist. That's what evolution is all about. About selection.
Wait, Doctor. We've established that these beings are mindless. Shouldn't the organisms with the most developed nervous systems win the game of evolution? In this case, instead of a nervous system, there was some kind of electrical one, but the principle remains the same.
Not exactly, sir. The most advanced of the mechanisms
No
that
termina
landed
más,
here
otra
derived
vez.
energy from their own radioactive resources. Simpler devices such as small repair systems could have had solar panels. And in that case, would have had a significant advantage over the others.
But the other ones could defend themselves. They could attack.
With atomic power. Yes, that's possible. But I see it differently. In necroevolution, the most successful beings were those that excelled in miniaturization above all else. Also, the sedentary creations. The former gave rise to the cloud, which the flies form when necessary in pursuit of a common interest. Meanwhile, the sedentary ones gave rise to a peculiar species of metallic vegetation. Those structures formed the city.
So, it's still functional?
No. For some reason, the city lost a fight for survival. And now, there are only rusting remains. Only one form survived. The microbots that conquered the land on Regis 3.
So, these flies just adapted best.
To the conditions of this planet. Yes, that's how it works.
So, to summarize,
Ah.
some alien race sent advanced robots to
Sí,
Regis 3.
esa la tenemos.
Local dinosaur-like monsters tried to eat them.
Sí.
So the robots produced other robots, which produced more and more robots, until they fell victim to their own overproduction.
Ah.
After a number of iterations and wars for resources, they spat out the murderous cloud, which took over the planet.
Ah,
Indeed. To put it simply,
For me, the matter is perfectly clear. Makes no sense to bomb these creatures. So it's a greater danger to us than to them.
But how else do you imagine defeating the cloud?
Well, that's the thing. I don't. It's invincible. Yes, sir, do you agree?
Well,
If this is gonna work, the attack must be all out.
What are you saying, Doctor?
After a sufficiently powerful explosion, the ocean waters will begin to vaporize. Cloud cover will increase, the albedo will rise, and the resident symbionts won't be able to provide the minimum energy needed for reproduction. So yes, we can destroy the cloud,
Ha! I knew it!
along with ourselves.
Oh. You think we can defeat them and survive?
Technically, we'd have to wipe out the entire planet. That's not our goal here, is it?
No, it's not. So, you think there's no point trying with smaller charges?
No.
We would risk our lives for nothing. So yeah, I am against bombing. We won't help anyone this way.
But what else could we do, if not attack?
Esperar a la invencible, evacuar.
The Invincible is near. We can wait for its arrival.
Huh, right.
That is one solution. Although I was hoping you'd come back to Dragonfly. Back home.
Let's drop it, all right? Further discussion is pointless. The charges are almost ready.
Rahitra, for fuck's sake, be reasonable.
You won't stand down, will you?
An escalatory solution won't work.